Donald Trump Jr. has met with the Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
That's right. The virtual meeting took place on Tuesday. Don Jr. is the latest member of former President Trump's family to speak with the committee. Meanwhile, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is taking heat for more leaked audio. This one where he discusses Mr. Trump's leadership in the days following the Capitol riot. Joining us now from Washington to talk all things January 6th is CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion. Nikole, great to see you. So what more do we know about Don Jr.'s testimony and the kinds of questions the January 6th committee might have asked him?
Well, we don't have a very detailed readout, which is usually the case when these types of interviews and depositions occur. But we do know for the most part from talking to various sources that his testimony was uneventful and for the most part that he was generally cooperative. So certainly the committee has been wanting to talk to Donald Trump Jr. And what is interesting to note is that the committee has been able to kind of penetrate the former president's inner circle, whether that's recently speaking with Ivanka Trump, her husband Jared Kushner, as well as Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend Kimberly Guilfoyle. Now, we do know from some of the text messages that the committee has obtained over time as part of its trove of evidence that Donald Trump Jr. was among the ones trying to urge his father that day to call off these rioters, at one point texting a former chief of staff Mark Meadows that the former president has got to condemn this expletive as soon as possible. So certainly the committee has made clear that it does want to know exactly what happened in the run-up to January 6th, what happened on that day, the former president's mindset. So I would imagine a lot of the questioning was around that and those circumstances.
Nikole, there's new audio of House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy discussing the 25th Amendment with Republican leadership after the January 6th attack. It's the latest audio clip in a series of audio clips that we've heard from Kevin McCarthy discussing January 6th related issues. Is there any update on the committee's efforts to speak with the GOP leader?
Yeah, what is also interesting about this audio is that the GOP leader could be heard saying that he also wanted to have a conversation with then President-elect Biden to discuss a smooth transition or to ensure a smooth transition. And this is a tape that apparently was from a call that happened just 2 days after January 6th. And the Select Committee has said that it does still want to hear from Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. You will recall that the committee months ago asked him to come in voluntarily. At the time, the minority leader said that he had nothing to add. But of course, these tapes kind of raised that into question. And now the committee has said that it could potentially issue another letter to Leader McCarthy to see if he will come in and appear before the committee, and that they also might do the same with other Republican lawmakers, including some senators. So far, that has not happened, even though some committee members indicated it could happen. About a week ago, they indicated that that was a possibility. But to date, we still haven't seen those letters. We do know earlier this week that they issued a new round of letters to 3 House Republicans that they believe were involved in some of the calls and some of these meetings in the run-up to January 6th. So we'll see if more comes from the committee when the House returns next week.
All right, Nikole Killion in Washington, thank you so much.
You bet.